What's going on, everybody? Greg Ehrenberg here from Stokastic.com, and we're going to be breaking down the best prize picks prop plays for the Saturday slate. We've got 6 games to talk about and some marquee matchups as well, and we've got projections for all of this over at Stokastic.com for prize picks. So if you guys want to check all that out, and I'm about to give you a really cool preview of all the tools we have over there, you can get 50% off any package we have over at Stokastic.com, but in particular, our prize picks props tools, if you sign up using the link below, 50% off, you can get it for less than $5 for your first week. And I'm going to show you why that's really valuable here in a second, because we've got projections for all the different props over at prize picks. We've got projected odds on those props winning, as well as it compared to what our projections are. And this is data that also comes from our NBA DFS projections as well. So should be helpful for you guys. Going to be breaking that down in a second. But as you come in here, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let's get to it right here. I'm going to share screen. So here's our prop betting tool that we have for prize picks over at Stokastic.com. And here's some of the stuff that I mentioned before. We've got all the different props here for the players, whether we like the over or the under, the prop line, our projection, and the expected win rate. So really useful for you guys building out some profitable player prop cards over at prize picks. And once again, link below, you're going to get it for less than $5 for a week. And you make some money off it. The thing can end up paying for itself. But I wanted to highlight some of the ones that I really like here as well. And, I agree with a lot of our data most of the time. So I'm just going to be highlighting some of our top projected plays and walking through why I think these players are projected as they are. Starting with Donovan Mitchell, who we have the over-under for his assists at 5. And it is a good matchup against the Detroit Pistons. But you get concerned that it's almost too good of a matchup. And I don't usually like to take blowout risk too much into account. But the Cleveland Cavaliers are a 15.5-point favorite at home against Detroit. This is one of the more likely blowout scenarios that we've seen for the entire season, and it definitely makes me a little bit wary of Donovan Mitchell and how many minutes he's going to end up playing in this game. And as is, if you look at his assist numbers, they've kind of waned in the second half of the season. So if we look at the recent games for Mitchell, 5 assists, 4 assists, 3 assists, 3 assists, 5 assists, 5 assists, and 5 assists wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be a push, but he has only had one game since February 5th. So over the course of the last month, only one game for Donovan Mitchell that he's been north of 5 assists. So I feel pretty good about this. We've been winning 69% of the time, and we have the projection for Donovan Mitchell, 4.28 assists. And that seems pretty reasonable to me, especially when factoring in the blowout risk. Actually, if you look at the last 2 weeks of games for Donovan Mitchell, he's only averaging 3.8 assists. Now, let's look here at Tobias Harris, who is our second highest rated prop in our prize picks prop tool. And Tobias Harris over under 4.5 rebounds. And without a doubt, it has been a pretty disappointing season for Tobias Harris. He's on a max contract for the Philadelphia 76ers, but his rebound numbers have been decent lately relative to this prop. His last few games, 5 rebounds against Dallas, 6 rebounds against Miami, 5 rebounds against Miami. But what's also notable about Tobias Harris, his minutes have been up as of late. And this matchup, too, against the Milwaukee Bucks, the Bucks are currently the number 1 seed in the East. So this is a team that it's one of those spots where I think we could see more potential minutes for the starters on both sides of the game. And with that being the case, Tobias Harris could be in line for extra minutes and therefore more accounting stats. And for the season, Tobias Harris actually averages 5.8 rebounds per game in 34 minutes per night. And considering that over the last couple of weeks, he's playing 35 minutes per game, and then what I laid out before about the matchup potentially driving those minutes up, it's not unreasonable to think that Tobias Harris's rebound prop here is well short of what we're expecting. We even project for 5.5. I think you make a case that we could project Tobias Harris for even more rebounds than that. So another one that I really like here, Tobias Harris. I like taking the over on his rebounds. And then finally, James Wiseman. If you look at him, he's played an extended role as of late for the Pistons, and we've seen some better rebound numbers for him. But I'm also kind of concerned about the matchup with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are such good defensive centers and also really good rebounders in their own right. This could be a couple of issues for James Wiseman. There could be foul trouble. Blowout could pose issues. And the other thing, too, is his playing time has been down a little bit as of late, just because the Pistons have been a little bit healthier in the front court. We've got Bagley in there as well. So the last few games for James Wiseman, he has not exactly played massive minutes. And overall, even though he's had some bigger games for the Pistons, they haven't been giving him a ton of run as a team. He's averaging about 25 minutes per game with the Pistons. And ultimately, I think that's going to make it hard for him to regularly get to like 9-10 rebounds when his rebound prop here is 8.5. So that's one of the main reasons here that we are liking James Wiseman under 8.5 rebounds. We've got Giannis here. I'm a little scared to bet an under on Giannis rebounds. I understand why we project it well, but this is actually not one that I recommend you guys add to your prop card because a lot of this is going to be based on some of the recent minutes for Giannis, where if you look at his last 4 games, he's played 9 minutes, 7 minutes, 28 minutes, and 28 minutes. But there's a chance just because of the matchup that he plays bigger minutes against the 76ers. So a lot of variance here, and I'm going to tend to just want to avoid this one, even though it projects well, just because I think there's a lot of volatility in his playing time. So I'm going to be also looking, when I'm looking for some of these props, for ones where I feel really good about some of the playing time for players, or if I think the playing time is volatile and we project the under well, that would make the under stand out to me even more. So I like Donovan Mitchell a bunch. I like Tobias Harris. I like James Wiseman. I think these are 3 good legs for your guys' player prop card over on PrizePicks. And then I'm going to highlight one more here. Bradley Beal, his over-under is 6.5 assists. And Bradley Beal, by the way, against Toronto. Have these teams played each other just a ton lately? Or am I out of my mind? What have these... Yes, so they just played it. Here's what it was. Last game. So 2 days ago, we saw the Wizards and the Raptors play against each other. Bradley Beal put up 5 assists in that game, so fell a little bit short of that 6.5 prop. And even though we've seen some better assist numbers from Beal lately, it's hard for me to think that this is what should be the norm going forward. He only averages 5.4 assists per game for the season. Even though Monty Morris is out, they still have Delon Wright moving into the starting lineup to handle a lot of point guard duties. So this is a guy who for the season is averaging 5.4 assists per game. We've got him projected for 6 assists. His over-under is 6.5. There actually haven't been that many games this year where Bradley Beal has had 7 or more assists. He's had few of them as of late, but overall for the year, he's only had, 7 or 8 games where he's gone for 7 or more assists. So I like our under here. I agree with it. And there's a 4-leg parlay for you, just highlighting the ones that I ended up liking. Donovan Mitchell, under 5 assists. Tobias Harris, over 4.5 rebounds. James Wiseman, under 8.5 rebounds. And then Bradley Beal, under 6.5 assists. That's going to do it for us today and the different props. And by the way, some of these projections, they could change throughout the day, especially when players get ruled in or out. So pay attention to all the news, all the NBA injury reports, and these projections are updated in real time. As players get ruled in, get ruled out, news, stuff changes, these projections are changing along with it. And if you want access to them, sign up using the link below. You're going to get 50% off. You can get access to all this data that I'm showing on screen for less than $5. I think that's a great deal. And also, like I said, I think this is something that is going to help you guys win money, and the tool just pays for itself in perpetuity moving forward. So that's going to do it for me. If you guys have not done it yet, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Good luck, and I hope you have a great weekend.